Yeah, thank you very much. I'm Bernd. I'm working for DE-CIX. This is my first DKNOG, so I'm missing the newbie sticker here. But thanks to the program committee for accepting my talk. It will be about issues and impacts on BGP peering configurations and the outcomes. So this is part of my daily business I'm dealing with the DE-CIX customers, and they are doing. I'm part of a peering team, so we care about customers on the doing side, so to say. Very quick, what is DE-CIX doing? So we operate internet exchanges. So the original one is in Frankfurt. So this is where we're maybe known for that, but it's not even Frankfurt. We have a bit more. But this here is the marketing slide, and then we are done with that part. So coming to my topic, so of course this is the warm-up here. Everybody knows that. So if you make the port full, then you have a problem. I think this is not a surprise. I would nevertheless like to separate the few cases here, because the first one, that's the case A, a repeated full port. I think this is very easy to find, because you will know from all the complaints in your support department that this is going on. So you even don't need a monitoring system that you know that you have this running. But maybe the B case is a bit more tricky. So maybe you had a peak just once, and it disappeared maybe in your monitoring while you have not looked at it, and some customers might be hit. So finding these past incidents somewhere in the history, that could be an issue already. But most people or many customers are not aware of micro peaks, and there's a bit a nasty thing, because typically a lot of these monitoring tools are working in 5 minutes averages. So how can you see a 10-second lasting peak in a 5-minute average? And this is not typically not on the radar on many customers' sides. So why are we talking about this? So this is not fancy engineering stuff, and because we are bored. This has to do with customers, or happy customers, or otherwise annoyed customers or leaving customers. So they might cease the services if you play these games with your customers. So you should not do. And at the end, yeah, it's a loss of revenue. And loss of revenue, this is a very important comment, because the engineering department has a direct relation on building revenues or losing revenues. So often I see engineering in discussions about being a cost problem. No, you're not a cost problem. You're the ones who are making the revenues. So this is where you build the success of the company, or you lose as a company. So what else can we look at? Packet drops. Yeah, that's also clear, but how to detect these? So if it's happening on your side, means on your side of your interface, you have good chances to find these things. You just need to find or look for this counter, and be careful, because you have multiple counters. So you can have counters on the physical layer. You can have counters maybe on your lag, which are bundling multiple physical layers, or you can have packet loss on your service layers. So you have different points where it can go wrong. And then you have the other problem, if it's not happening on your side, but on the other side, how you will see that. That can be tricky. At DE-CIX, we invented in our CISA portal, so you have a live view on our packet loss statistics, so that you can see what's happening on the other side of the interface when packets are maybe disappearing. Yeah, again, what's the outcome? I would simplify it, you lose revenue if you don't care. Yeah? Engineers build revenues or lose revenues. Another topic, prefix amount, unbalanced by design or by mistake. So this here shows a customer scenario having sent these green squared number 25,000 IPv4 prefixes in Frankfurt, but why ever the same customer sent only 7,000 in New York? Yeah, that might have to do with continental traffic engineering or whatever. Sometimes we also hear stories, okay, too less capacity, somebody put in magic prevention mechanism, then the capacity is upgraded, but the prevention mechanism stays in place because somebody forgot to remove that temporary fixes. So it's good to have a track. What is your advertisement base doing on the exchanges globally? All the IXPs are operating looking glasses where you can see what is received from your BGP announcement. And again, yeah, you lose customer satisfaction, you lose revenue, because with peered paths, maybe you could have entered some traffic which you don't have when you run it on transit only. So peering makes AS path shorter, makes the winning chance higher. So if you peer, you build traffic, and with traffic building, you build the revenue. That's again the same thing. You are building revenues. Partial or reduced advertisement. So in this example, customer in Frankfurt, we repaired, or the customer repaired, some IRR errors. So we heard already a bit about errors. Then you see this peak kicking in. Then it was too much for the customer, and he said, oh, alarm, I have no bandwidth for that, as it peaked a full gigabit. And then he did withdraw more specific prefixes. So this is the natural maneuver to prevent traffic. So you take this out, then you can see, okay, the traffic level decreased compared to the previous state, and then it grows again. So customers are playing with these advertisements, taking out, bringing back, and especially these IRR errors. If you release these errors, then you have all of a sudden maybe a traffic which was not there before. So you build traffic, you build revenue. That's also a famous thing, forgetting prefixes. So somebody signed an IXP contract, which is nice. Maybe a different team was responsible for doing something and nobody told them, or they did not have time, or did not have fun, or whatever might be the reason. So somebody even turned up the route server session, as you can see, but without prefixes. So this is typically a thing of the internet exchanges like us, to ask the customers, why are you sending 0 prefixes? Could it be more, or is it by design what you did here? In that case, okay, we asked them, they turned it up, and all of a sudden there were 10 gig of traffic, which is maybe a new traffic in this customer scenario. Maybe it was not there before. Maybe it is coming because of peering. Then you build additional traffic, you build additional revenue. IRR RPKI blocking in specifics. I already mentioned that. We see around 15,000 RPKI invalid hitting our filters. As said, prefixes redundantly counted here. Also IRR issues, AS set issues, whatever filter things could go wrong, we block it. Also our colleagues are blocking it. So this is our responsibilities as IXPs here to block what should not be let pass. And this example here shows this intervention, IRR fix or AS set error fix, or choose the right AS set is also a famous thing. Then all of a sudden the traffic is in, peered traffic is coming in. So maybe here you again build some revenue for your company. No root server session. Root servers, of course, there are operators which have a no root server policy, which is fine. They have their reason for that, and good reason for that. So everything okay with the decision to not do root server. But we also have those customers who have forgotten to turn up the root server session, could be a case, or not having time for having that done, or not having known, or not knowing how. Yeah, these are again the fields of our industry, of the IXP industry, to help customers, especially new customers. A special group is enterprise customers, which we see more and more on exchanges for various reasons. They need help with these questions. Maybe there are new engineering teams who are not aware of that. Somebody has to tell them or show them how this is done. In the example here, okay, you see this is a customer case, New York, 2016. So we advised to turn up the root server. He said, yes, of course, why it's not here? And all of a sudden, 5 gig of traffic was here, and maybe some additional revenue was here. Not configured major sessions. Those who are not on the root server, so you know, especially the big ones, Azure Limelight is typically not using route servers. Microsoft is typically not using route servers. Google is now disappearing from route servers. So with these guys, you need to ask for bilateral peering session. So that's not coming via the route server. You have to ask them or fill forms or whatever process. And you need to detect this, that it's not here. Remembering Nina's presentation from Cantic, they have a fantastic integration of PeeringDB. Maybe you'll find these recommendations in the Cantic portal if you use Cantic, or DE-CIX also has a customer portal where you see that basic flow information that maybe you have no traffic with Microsoft or the others. So what happens? You lose potential traffic, which you could bring on your network, means maybe there is some additional more revenue to grab for your company. Peering downturns, somebody changed the router, come with a new MAC address. Yes, we need to know the MAC address because we filter on that. So if this happens, or maybe somebody shut down the peering for whatever reason, don't forget, please, to return it up. That's also a topic where internet exchanges have to look at what are the customers doing. Traffic falls to 0. Why? Somebody maybe need to ask them. What could happen here if your peering goes down and your peering is decreased with 3 gig of traffic? Yes, you might know it already. That can have an impact on your revenue. This here measure things that's a bit out of scope, but I really would love to put this in here. Who is familiar with RIPE Atlas or operates in RIPE Atlas? Please show me your hand. Yes, very good. So all those who are not operating a RIPE Atlas probe, you have seen those with the hands. They can tell you how to enable a RIPE Atlas probe. So we all need that for making proper latency measurements. And this is here because peering also has to do something with that, because with peering you can typically improve your latencies, so you want to also monitor that. With RIPE Atlas there is a fantastic tool how these things can easily be done. And coming to the last 2 slides, prepends, MED, BGP communities. Some networks like to export MED parameters on root servers, which is fine. But maybe it is not intentional, because everything higher 0 lowers the chance that your prefixes on the route servers are winning. Yeah, you might be in competition with others who are having the same customer. Maybe you're both on the same internet exchange. If you send us a MED of 1 and the other send a MED of 0, then the one with the 0 wins. So the invitation here is understand these traffic engineering outcomes very well. If you export stuff to us, like the MET example on the very right, so 0, 50, 0, 0, 0, 200 is fine. It can be meant as friendly or constructive traffic engineering measures, but some customers simply forget to reset it to 0, and then this decreases the winning chance, and this decreases maybe the chance for some more revenue. BGP hindering communities or prepends, in this case 4 times or 3 times a prepend. I asked the customer, the answer was, oh, I forgot, this was the turn-up preventing mechanism. So please take care what your prepends are doing. Please take care if you send or work with hindering BGP communities, because it has maybe to do with the revenue you're building. Last slide, that's the summary of everything. So we see sometimes pictures of customers who are doing really interesting variations of super networks, more specifics, much more specifics, prepends and whatever stunts. So I know customers with 5 super networks blowing up into 200 prefixes, what they announced. I asked once one of the big hyperscaler, because the traffic, the customer complained, okay, the traffic is unstable and it goes right, left. Then the hyperscaler told me, look, this customer is sending so many super nets and more specifics and prepends and varies these over all different exchanges and transits. I have no clue what this customer tries to achieve. So the network is doing some random magic. So either clean it up or live with some very strange behaviors what your network is doing. And that's it from my side. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much. Do we have any questions here? No, still just want to go and have a beer, I see.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you much. Here you go.